say what needs to be said. Have you ever thought there was someone that played in the NFL that was faster than Tyreek Hill, or someone that plays in the NFL that's faster than Tyreek Hill? Well, let's get into it. You may never heard of this name, but when I tell you fast, explosive, strong, all the prototypes you wish your favorite football player had, my boy Bethel Johnson had it. Like I said, you might not have heard of this name, but I'm going to tell you about it and I'm going to break it down. Bethel, he could bench close to 400 pounds and squat 600 pounds like it was nothing. And when it came time to test, Bethel would dominate any test that had to do with explosiveness, running, jumping, anything like that, right? The only player, I'm making this breaking news right now, the only player in life that ever intimidated me before we ever had a chance to step on the field and compete was Bethel. He never heard this before because I never told him or anyone. But Bethel was the first and only person to intimidate me before we hit on that field. And we're going to get into it, right? But when we were rookies, we did everything together. You know, we ride the bus together to and from practice, you know, to the hotel and things of that nature. And some of us were roommates and, you know, we practiced together and did everything together until the entire team came, and then it became a full team practice. Before that, it would just be the rookies or the new signers, right? And riding the bus back and forth from physicals and taking examinations for the team, we would tell our war stories from college and how we like to play and the things we did in college. And Bethel, you know, he's a talker. He would say, man, on run plays, Zunt, I like to run right to the cornerback and go for his head. I'm trying to knock that cornerback out. And that was his thought process. And that's what he was explaining to me. He want to run to the cornerbacks and block the fool out. And he's coming full speed to knock the cornerback out. And I was a little worried. I can't lie. After seeing him test and all those things, I was a little worried. So my eyes got big and I was like in my head, oh shit, Zunt, better get ready. You got to deal with this fella right here, right? I wasn't sure if I faced anyone with his capabilities at this point in my career. I went to UCF and played for UCF back when the program was a C caliber program, B caliber, B minus, you know what I mean? Minus, you know, minimal talent. You know, we get the kids, the Prop 48s and whoever can't go to Florida State and Auburn and Florida and things like that, right? Now, Bethel, he easily ran a 4.2 when it was testing time with no technique. He easily ran 4.2s all day long, right? Now, I'm gonna come back to this story, but let me finish telling you how fast he was, because it was another level fast. His speed was tremendous, right? I saw Bethel Johnson run past elite cornerbacks 10 yards, no joke. He was that fast. I mean, it was a long play, but he ran past an elite cornerback 10 yards, right? And coaches wanted him on the field, but he always stayed in the doghouse because Bethel was Bethel. And I don't even really know how to explain to you Bethel, but I'm going to try to, right? The speed, like I'm saying. And then if there's someone out there that was ever faster than Tyreek Hill on the football field, the only person it can possibly be is Bethel Johnson. I'm telling you, listen, let's get into it. But there was one problem. There was one problem. And when we get back to this story, let's get back to the story. There's one problem with Bethel. After testing time and all the post-draft responsibilities are over, it was time to hit the field. And you know me, shit talking from Lauderdale. All I got on my mind is what he like to do to DBs. And I know the first chance I get, I'm about to run full speed and put my helmet right in his chin because he already set the tempo. I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried. My back is against the wall. When my back against the wall, I know what to do is come out swinging. So I'm a little intimidated, right? Just before we get to the pad, we're doing one-on-one drills. And like I say, he was fast. He was very, very good. He was very, very good without the pads on. He was balling out of control. It looked like this was the next Hall of Famer of the Hall of Famers without the pads on, right? He was jumping, making one-handed catches out of the air like he was the new Randy Moss, and he wasn't even that tall, all right? And I didn't know how I was going to deal with wide receivers in the league if this was the type of talent the receivers were in the NFL, right? Because like I said, I wasn't used to playing against this type of talent, right? This is totally different from me. But I'm ready for the challenge. Don't get it twisted. We have to put on pads, and this is when the problems begin. When we put these pads on, that's when you get the butter from the duck. Like I said, I got one thing on my mind. Belter is coming for me. Now, we finally got the line up together, and all that crazy shit that was said is out of the window. You got to show me what you talking about. I don't care what you said. That was on the bus. I'm standing on the grass now, baby. So we lined up in a scrimmage setting. And I ran full speed and put my helmet right in his chin. And he tried to attack. But like I said, he wasn't ready for the pound for pound, Mr. Pick 6. And I put a thud on him and laid him back. And he went backwards. And he felt that pain. And every time we lined up in pads after that, we ain't have no problem. He knew he better go easy or Pick 6 was coming with that thunder. And that was my introduction to Bethel. But let me finish. Bethel, my boy Bethel, he could talk a good game, a great game, and make you think he is going to be the next Randy Moss and break every receiving record known to man. I'm telling you, everybody in the facilities felt that way. He fooled everybody, the trainers. You go ask anybody, man. Go do your research. The trainers, the coaches, everybody. It was just hard to get him on the field, right? He was also that player that would pop up with all of a sudden these mysterious injuries and not be practicing and just miss practice. And he loved that, to be on the sideline, coming in his fresh stuff and got his new money and all that stuff. I don't know, he loved to do that, right? And he always had everyone shaking their heads like, what is going on with him? The receiving corps needed him to practice so they wouldn't have to take all the extra reps and tire out their bodies. And that was the issue, like I said, because he would miss a lot of practice and these mysterious injuries and nobody would understand what his thing was, right? But for Bethel, it takes a village to get Bethel Johnson to get him going and to get him to practice. Now, he played sparingly in special situations designed for him to, to go deep because of his speed and stuff like that. But he never had a permanent role, or he wasn't like a starter, like I said. So one day, Bethel decided he was going to complain about not getting the ball. So he decided to talk his shit and tell the coaches he needs to be the starter because he's a second-round pick. He's feeling himself. I guess he sees he's the best athlete out there. There was no doubt about it. And he deserved to be the starter, but it was up to him. He complained to the coaches and everyone on the team about his playing time. I mean, it was a daily thing. It was a daily thing until, guess what? Someone got hurt, and it was time for him to play. His bluff was challenged. One of the starting wide receivers is down, and Bethel Johnson has to play. Everything he asked for right now is time to play, and it's here. And we get to see this great specimen of an athlete go to work. Now, all of a sudden, we come to practice, and Bethel Johnson is quiet, and we don't hear him. You don't hear the talking anymore, and his swag, and he's loud, and he like to talk about how good he is and what he can do. You don't really hear that no more. But we still practice. So maybe that's just him focusing and getting ready for the game and how he prepares, right? And now it's game time. And if I remember correctly, it was a night game. And on night games and games period, you must be in the meeting room a certain time before the game. And it's about 2 hours, maybe it's 2 hours and 30 minutes before the game starts. So they can do a head count and make sure everyone is there. The calm before the storm. And as they're counting, it's only one player missing. And you guess who that player is that's missing? If you said Bethel, you're right. It's Bethel. I never seen this before in my life. The man is missing from the team meeting they're outside. The opponents are right outside. The meeting is right here. They're right out there, right? 50 yards. You walk outside, they're right there. And Bethel's not there. And he is slotted to be the starter. He is not there. Everyone is calling and asking for Bethel, trying to get numbers, calling his house phone. Some people had his girl number and this and that, and no sign of Bethel. So we break the meeting, and the starting wide receiver is not there. And then, like 45 minutes or an hour to go in the game, Bethel walks through the door like nothing's going on. He shows up. And if you know Bill Belichick, like you heard about Bill Belichick, you know good and goddamn well Bethel Johnson ain't playing in that game. And he knew that too. He knew that he gonna be late to this game because it's time for him to start and play, and he didn't want to play. And he was sent home after that, and that was Bethel last season at the Patriots. And, that was another, brother, I'm telling you, man, another opportunity of a lifetime for my boy Bethel Johnson, a brother. And he had other plans, right? He had other plans, so, I don't know how he doing. I hope my boy Bethel doing good, man. Bethel, hit me up, bro. Old stories, old time. But I'm telling you, Bethel Johnson, if anybody's faster than Tyreek Hill, it's Bethel Johnson. Go look it up. Go look at some highlights. Man, that dude was fast. Super duper fast. He intimidated me a little bit. You got me. I said it. Until next time, Mr. Pick 6, baby, I'm out.